And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel. Side Hustle Cinema here. Thanks for clicking on this video. So I know what you're thinking. What are you doing on a Monday? Didn't this video come out on Tuesdays? Well, after a lot of consideration, a lot of thinking about it for a long time, maybe it would work a little better if I showed the video a little bit earlier in the week and not concentrated so much on what comes up next week and just kind of focus more on what comes out this week. And there's analytics and things that went into the decision. You know, we get all those stats and things, you know, as YouTubers. You can kind of look at your videos and see what's going on. I just want to see if putting it on Monday, maybe even Sunday, would maybe bring me a few more views. You know, views equals subscribers usually, and that's a good thing. So, you know, you got to shake it up. You got to check things out, try new things. And so I hope you're going to enjoy the show just as much. Maybe it'll even help you out a little more. Now that I don't have to try to fit in so much into one episode, it leaves me free to talk about a few other things. Maybe go in some more details on some of the things that are coming out. Dive into some rumors a little bit here and there. And just try other segments that, you know, I might think of doing. Who knows? So let's go ahead and get this video going. Let's get it started. We got a lot to talk about, actually. And I'm not going to change the name. It's still See You Next Tuesday. So we got a pretty decent week of things coming out. Nothing too crazy, but there's some stuff worth talking about coming out, and we'll go over all those things that are coming out a little bit later in the show. But first, it was a pretty good week for some horror movie news. A lot of good horror stuff coming out on physical media. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those things. Let's do some horror movie news. Well, alright, let's jump into some horror movie news. We've had a lot of horror movie announcements come out this week. So let's just go over some of those. Let's start with some of the, well, more rumor mill type stuff. So on April 26th, we might be getting Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, the sequel. And both those would be on 4K. This would be pretty cool. I enjoyed Happy Death Day a good bit, actually. I really enjoyed that one. Happy Death Day to You was pretty good, but it didn't feel as much like a horror movie or like a slasher. You know, it sort of took on more of a sci-fi kind of feel. It would be nice to get these on 4K. I never turned down some 4K horror. I think it'd be a pretty cool thing. And I also hear that, you know, they're going to be making a third one. Blumhouse is, I think they're working on developing the third one. So, you know, we got a new Happy Death Day movie coming out. Hopefully they'll maybe revert back to the first one a little bit. Maybe put in a little more of the horror elements. Make it a little more of a slasher. But yeah, kind of excited about that. Pretty cool announcement there. Coming out on April 12th, we might be getting Candyman, the original, on 4K. This is also a really good thing. I mean, the original was really, that's where it's at. Every sequel after the original, not as good as the original. So it would be pretty cool to get this one on 4K. But a release that is official is Blue Underground is going to be putting out Uncle Sam on 4K. I bet you didn't think you'd be hearing that. 1997 Uncle Sam. You know, a story about a sergeant who was killed by like friendly fire. He comes back to life to take revenge on unpatriotic people. And you gotta love it. Kind of looking forward to it. These are fun movies, you know. That's really all it is. You know, if you enjoy like the Jack Frosts of the world, you might enjoy this one. It's definitely goofy, but yeah, Uncle Sam 4K. That's great. No release date on Uncle Sam just yet, though. But sometime in 2022, it's been done. They need to figure out a release date on it. So we're definitely getting it. And speaking of patriotic horror, here's one no one's ever heard of. Most likely, Kino Lorber's actually putting out on Blu-ray The Werewolf of Washington. And this was a 1973 horror comedy. And I really have no idea what it's about. I didn't even know about this before I saw it on Blu-ray.com. And I just thought it was funny because it's almost the same cover as Uncle Sam. And it's coming out. And Kino put a lot of work into it. This is actually a 4K restoration, so they could have made this a 4K, but they chose to put it out on a Blu-ray, and no official release date on that one as of yet either. And now what I have heard about, this one also from Kino. We are getting New Year's Evil on Blu-ray. It's a new 2K restoration of this film. And it is coming out on April 12th. There's a bunch of brand new special features on it. And looking at the picture, I kind of dig this new cover art on here. I've heard of the movie. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen it though. So let me know in the comments. Is it a good movie? Is it worth picking up? It looks kind of worth it from the cover art here. This looks pretty cool. And now let's talk about some other releases that are coming out. Criterion has announced their April release schedule. On April 19th, we're going to be getting Miracle in Milan. And that one's getting a new 4K restoration, but it'll just be on Blu-ray. It's not a 4K release. We're also getting For All Mankind, and that one is going to be a 4K release. And we'll actually have Dolby Vision. Also on April 19th, we're getting The Girl Can't Help It, and that one will be on Blu-ray. On April 12th, we're going to be getting Walker on Blu-ray. And on April 26th, we're going to be getting Round Midnight, and it says that one's getting a new 4K digital restoration. Not quite sure what that means, but it won't be a 4K disc. It'll just be a Blu-ray. And also on April 26th, we're getting I Am Effie. Or something like that. I tried looking it up on Google, trying to get the pronunciation of it. Don't know much about that one, but it's getting a new 2K digital transfer. And that's what's coming out from Criterion. Which Criterion would you recommend to the guy that's looking forward to Uncle Sam on 4K? I know last week I was going to talk about the Godfather trilogy coming out on 4K. I'm sort of excited about it, but a little bit not. I mean, the price is a little bit steep, I think, for what you're getting. You can buy the 4K trilogy. You can buy the Blu-ray trilogy. It's got the special edition, the big box set trilogy. For what they're charging, I don't really think you're getting much in that box set. It's really like a book, some art prints, and it looks like just a big oversized case that would be really hard to put on a shelf. Probably be waiting on a price drop on this one. I'm excited that it's coming out, but I was a little disappointed in the price. So I'll probably wait for a price drop, because I think it'll drop fairly quickly. Also on February 22nd from Lionsgate, we're getting a 4K and a Blu-ray of American Underdog. And originally this was only going to get a Blu-ray, but I guess they decided to go ahead and do the 4K. But yeah, they included the 4K on this too, and that's really cool because this one's a really good movie. You don't even have to be a sports fan to like this movie. It's a good, uplifting story. I think people will like it. I highly recommend it. On April 12th, we're getting The Man That Shot Liberty Valance on 4K. You know, a nice Western. Not one of my favorite John Wayne movies, though. There's a whole lot that I would love to see get a 4K before this one. Maybe the original True Grit or Rooster Cogburn. Also like The Sons of Katie Elder or The Alamo. The Alamo would be great. Or El Dorado. That was also one of my favorite ones. This was actually pretty low on the list now that I'm thinking about it. And the last one I want to talk about today, it comes out on March 15th, and I already have it pre-ordered. Super excited about this one. And that is from Vestron. It's going to be a Vestron video release here. And that's Dream a Little Dream on Blu-ray. Yep, the two Coreys, you know. Gotta love it. 1989. I really enjoyed this one. They actually have a sequel to this one, and it wasn't bad either. But very, very kind of trippy comedy. The last time I did a Tuesday video, I kind of introduced a new segment in which I recommend a movie. And I try to do a 60-second sort of review for you. Do it one take without editing, because I edit heavy because I screw up a lot. And yeah, so I decided to try to bring that back and give it another shot this week. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And for these reviews, I like to kind of do movies that maybe are a little bit under the radar, that not everyone knows about. And, well, this is one that came out, you know, fairly recently, from Vinegar Syndrome. People are always wondering, you know, is there good Vinegar Syndrome movies out there? Well, there are, but you kind of got to look for them. You definitely need to read some reviews and look for them. Well, I've got a recommendation for you today, and it's from Vinegar Syndrome. It's one of their 4Ks that they recently put out. So give me 60 seconds on the clock and we'll talk about this movie. Phyllis Davis and Tom Selleck star in Terminal Island. This movie originally came out in 1973 and just recently got a 4K release from Vinegar Syndrome. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to take all the prisoners on death row and just put them on an island together to live out their days? Well, that's pretty much what the plot of this movie is. As we follow Joy as she lands on Terminal Island, has to sign her own death certificate, and as you can imagine, life on Terminal Island not very good for females. There's two groups of men that are kind of in a war to see who controls the island, and the movie's actually quite a bit of fun. I would really like to see a remake of this one. I think they could do a great job in a Purge-style remake of this one. But it looked awesome on 4K, and I think everyone should definitely check this one out. Nailed it. It only took me about 15 takes this time, so I'm getting better. And it's that time of month where Vinegar Syndrome is putting out a lot of their movies. You know, their subscriptions have all been delivered. You know, everyone who subscribes. So they've already got their movies. Now it's time for everyone else who, you know, orders them individually to start getting theirs in. So let's just do a little Vinegar Syndrome segment here and go over all the movies that, that they're putting out. So coming out from Vinegar Syndrome and their partner labels, we've got a new 4K coming out, and it's Dead Heat. This one looks pretty cool. I just recently picked up a couple of their 4Ks. You just saw me do a review for Terminal Island, and also picked up Six String Samurai on 4K. And so I really do enjoy their 4Ks. Probably going to be picking this one up at some point. Also coming out, we have The Forgotten Gialli Volume 4. We've got Master of the World. Curfew, Fortress of America, and they spell America with 3 Ks. Ooh. And some more Vinegar Syndrome partner labels are putting out some stuff as well. We've got the Ernie Game, Girlfriend from Hell, Killing Spree, Coco D Coco Da, Midnight Swim, Monster of Camp Sunshine, and Honeymoon of Terror. Morvern Caller? We got Pals, El Plantena, and Sinister. They really do make it hard to read these titles when you're not familiar with them at all. If any of you big time Vinegar Syndrome fans out there, let me know. Like, what are the good ones? Like, what's coming out this month that's really good, that's going to be worth picking up? Because I like some out there stuff, but, you know, some of this stuff's pretty out there. Well, probably the biggest release of the week, the one that's going to be probably the most sought after, the one that everyone seems to be wanting, is the Punisher Steelbook from Lionsgate. It's an awesome looking steelbook with a great cover, and I think a lot of people are wanting this, but it's like sold out, or at least, you know, it might be. You know, right now you can't even pre-order it anymore, so we're just going to have to cross our fingers and hope that we're going to have some copies in store on Tuesday. I think a lot of people are going to end up being kind of disappointed. So if you pre-ordered it, congratulations. And if you didn't, well, you'll be fighting it out with me and probably a whole bunch of other people trying to see if you can get a hold of a copy. And then probably the only other big release of the week is, I guess it's The Piano from Criterion on 4K. You know, it's an Academy Award winning movie, you know, and I guess a lot of people are looking forward to it. I'm not, but that's fine. Also coming out from Criterion this week is going to be Dick Johnson is Dead. This week from Paramount Pictures, we've got several movies that it's their first time on Blu-ray, and we've got Clock Stoppers, Bad News Bears 2005, that's the one with Billy Bob Thornton, Dreamer, that's the horse racing movie with Dakota Fanning and Kurt Russell, Barnyard, an animated movie, and Going Ape, and that's a fun movie I remember watching growing up with Tony Danza and Danny DeVito. And I'm picking up Dreamer and the Bad News Bears and Clock Stoppers. I'm getting all 3 of those. Arrow's got some pretty cool stuff coming out this week. We've got Sleep coming out on Blu-ray. Also, Basket Case is coming out. The Deeper You Dig, and Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway. All those are coming out on Blu-ray. I think a lot of people will be picking up Basket Case. Basket Case is one of those iconic kind of movies that a lot of people have heard of, a lot of people kind of remember, or maybe they liked it even. And for a lot of people, I guess it has nostalgia. I actually kind of remember not liking Basket Case, not being a real big fan of it. So let me know, are you a Basket Case fan? Are you picking up Basket Case this week? And Sony is going to be putting out a ton of, really, I think they're just all re-releases. But there's quite a few of those coming out, all on Blu-ray, and all reasonably priced. I think they're all only like $10 or something. And on the list, we're getting, we're getting Wild Things, Easy A, RV, Columbiana, Hitch, Parker, This Is the End, Mortal Instruments, Elysium, Prom Night, and Surf's Up. There's some okay titles in there. I enjoyed Wild Things quite a bit. A lot of guys did. Easy A's a fun movie. This Is the End. I already have that one. RPI Media Group is putting out their Lover, and that's going to be on 4K. Shout Factory's putting out Kamen Rider 01, the complete series, on Blu-ray. Warner Brothers is giving us Stage Fright, and that's part of the Warner Archive Collection. That'll be on Blu-ray. Don't Go in the House is coming on Blu-ray, and that's a Severin film. Looks pretty good, too. Cohen Media Group is putting out a Blu-ray with Dancing with Crime and The Green Cockatoo. Severin Films is also putting out Delirium on Blu-ray. Shout Factory will be putting out Mafi on Blu-ray. Kino Lorber will be putting out Gomorrah Season 3 on Blu-ray. And finally, Disney is putting out Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, the complete series on Blu-ray. I was actually a big fan of that cartoon. That's pretty cool. So that's going to do it for everything that comes out on Tuesday. Pretty much my plan is going to be I'm going to try to snag a copy of that Punisher Steelbook if I'm able to. I'm not sure. I didn't pre-order it, and I don't know if they're going to have it in stores or not. But I'm going to try to get a copy saved if I can. Other than that, I do have Clock Stoppers, Dreamer, and Bad News Bears. I have those pre-ordered, so I guess I'll be getting those. I might circle back around and get Going Ape. That's a fun one. And from Vinegar Syndrome, I might go ahead and put it in order and try to pick up Dead Heat. I wish I would have pre-ordered it a little bit earlier, but, you know, I kind of forgot. So I think that's what I'm picking up. Let me know in the comments what you guys are picking up this week. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you liked the new look, the new feel on the new day of the program. Let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I mean, what worked, what didn't work, what would you like to see more of? Your feedback is really important, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, stay safe, have fun, keep watching those movies, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Probably Monday.